appointment, whatever you call that follow-up appointment, it's when you're sitting down with them, showing them how to use their back office, how to set up their loyalty rewards order. So that's kind of the setup.
So wait, so where are we?
We're in our second appointment. I'm already a customer. You've gone through the whole thing. Now you're gonna ask me about business.
You know, Arin, I'm just curious. Have you ever thought about running your own business?
I mean, there's parts of it that are really attractive to me. I would definitely love to make my own hours, but I'm afraid to, not have insurance, and I don't know if I'm really cut out for it. But yeah, I've thought about it.
And great, yeah. So why would that be interesting to you, or why is that attractive to you?
Well, I've never really had time to explore my passions. Mm-hmm. So I work 60 hours a week, and I'm pretty exhausted. I mean, that's why I got the essential oils, because I'm super stressed out. But I definitely just wonder, what would I do, or what would I bring to the world if I was the boss?
Well, what would you?
Well, I really love animals, and I think I thought at one time I would be a vet or something. I didn't want to go to school for that, but I don't know, maybe it would be nice to spend more time with animals.
So why is that important to you, to spend more time with animals?
They're unconditionally loving, and I feel at peace when I'm around them.
So I'll try to stick really to the script, because I would go, should I go the way that I would go?
No, let's do the script. What Gabe is modeling for you, I'm breaking character, is you get better and better at this, and you get more skills. He's extremely skilled, and he can take this to a deeper level. But when you're learning, just follow the script, because the script's brilliant. Okay. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we could probably do that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I could really see why the animals, and is important to you, and not having, working 60 hours a week, not being able to, follow that passion of yours. So, here's how this works. You would just do the same appointment, same, presentation that you saw. You'd go around doing that. It was pretty simple, right? So I could show you how to do that, and then you'll earn commissions on each sale. And then as your customers have their monthly repeated orders and your team members grow, then you'll earn all these extra bonuses and additional income. How does that sound?
Oh, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I liked what you did. It was easy.
Yeah, and doesn't take that long. And so what a lot of people love about this kind of business is the flexibility, and I really enjoy the passive income. I make my own schedule, and I can, kind of take a, what does Ariana do? You do it with what? In the bath, you're doing, I can do my spiritual contemplation in my bath. So. I need that right now. That would be so great.
So you actually make money at this?
Yeah, it's actually my only source of income, really, and it's actually we're buying our second house with our doTERRA check.
Wow. Tell me more. I want to learn more.
So is this something you'd like to learn more about?
Yeah.
How many of you guys have done that? Somebody's like, I want to learn more, and you're like, is this something you'd like to learn more about?
Yes. Gee, tell me more. Right now, can you tell me right now? That happens sometimes too, right?
Right. So, we don't really have time right now, but let's set up a time where we can go over this in more detail. I'll show you, the next steps, and we can get you started if that's something you want, but we'll look at it first. So I can meet with you next Saturday at 5 p.m. or this coming Wednesday at 2 p.m. Which would be better for you, Arin?
Let's do Wednesday at 2.
Wednesday at 2, great. I'm going to put that on my calendar. Awesome.
Cool. Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks. Can you guys see yourself having a conversation like that? Yeah. Is there anything that comes up for you that makes you say you couldn't?
No.
Yes.
So when people ask you, are you really doing that, and you really not that?
You say, I just started my business, but I have an incredible mentor who has retired her husband from a 20-year corporate job. And if you'd like to know more about that, I could probably get you on the phone with them. You guys are not in business by yourself. It is your own business, but you are not alone. And if you're not yet making the money, then you use the story of your upline or someone crossline.
You know, our team Rise, we what is our OVs about?
We $1.4 million a month in sales, which means right? And it means we put out $500,000 a month in paid commissions.
It's actually more than that. It's about 50% all in all of your OV goes to commissions for you and your team. So you can say that you're a part of a team that has over $1 million in sales every single month, and about half of that gets paid out of commissions. Would you like to have a piece of that?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Would that be nice?
Yeah.
What? I'm free this Wednesday or next.
And that is a really good point that Gabe is saying, is you don't feel like you have to make it through the whole script, right? If you just say, Ariana, have you ever thought about having your own business before? Yeah. Yes, awesome. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about what I do. It's really simple. You just go around having appointments like the one we just had. And as people start to buy products, you get commissions. As your team starts to duplicate, you can get extra bonuses. Is that something you'd like to learn more about?
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Awesome. I have some time tomorrow afternoon at 5 or Saturday at 10, which works best for you.
Saturday at 10.
I can't wait. So, I don't have to go through the whole thing. Now, what Gabe was starting to model, and we'll show you quickly, I'll come back to you partly, is what if you have that person who isn't really giving it up? So you want to try that a little bit?
Yeah. So I could. So why is the animals important to you, Arin? You were talking about the animals, and maybe being a vet was something you thought about in the past. Is that?
Yeah. I mean, I like animals, but I mean, I don't think I could ever do anything like that. So I don't think it's a wise thing to do. It's probably not my thing.
Well, I'm just curious why you said that you don't think you could ever do something like that. Why is that? What's stopping you? It's a great question. What's stopping you from the thing you want?
Well, I don't have any money saved, and starting your own business takes a lot of capital, and I don't have business education or training. I only know how to do what I know how to do, and it's just too risky. I don't want to go out on myself, nor could I. I don't have the money to.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it's really what's stopping you from this is the money. You don't have the money, and you don't have the education. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
So is there anything else that would stop you from doing it? Like if you had the money and you have the education, would you do it?
I mean, it'd be scary. I don't know if I'd be successful, but yeah, if I had some money saved and I felt like I had, business education, I knew what I was doing a little bit more, I might be willing to risk it if I had enough money saved and I had like an umbrella in case things failed.
And how important is this to you? Like, if you were like on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how would you rate yourself as far as like, are you ready to make steps in your life to be able to get this? Like, is the animals and doing this, is it that important that like 10 you have to start doing something to start moving towards this, or 1 really doesn't matter? Like, where would you rate yourself?
Well, I've never even thought about it till you asked me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of makes me a little excited, but
Good.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, that seems crazy to do. So I'm not ready to say that I'm a 10, but I don't know, like 4 or 5. But I have no idea. I mean, Gabe, you're tripping me out.
This is so close to a real conversation. It's hilarious. So then pause. So if she's a 4 about what's really important to her, it's probably not worth my time to meet with her as a 4. I want somebody that's at least a 6, but I really want a 9 or more, right? So what I would then go and do is I'd say, well, I've actually done this in a real situation. Somebody said they were a 3, and I said, well, what's a 9 or 10? Like let's just change the subject. Like, what subject is a 9 or 10 for you?
I really need a new car.
All right. And what kind of car?
I want something that's reliable and good gas mileage, and I don't want it to be in the shop all the time. So I've been like, I should probably get a Subaru, but I would really love a Volvo.
Cool. Okay. And so you said you're like a 9 or 10 on having this Volvo.
I mean, my car is at its last legs, and if I can't drive, I can't get to work, and if I can't get to work, there's no money, and you know how I feel about like, gotta have the money. So I need a new car. I'm totally committed to it.
Right. And I know from hearing you, from talking, that money is the thing that would be stopping you from the car. Is there anything else?
Yeah, well, I have money saved for a car, it's just not for a business.
Okay.
So I just want to pause
So
for
go
a
ahead
second.
and buy the car. Go buy your car. Congratulations.
What I want to bring up to you guys is sometimes our job isn't to enroll them, to get them to join our business, or to sell them oils. Our job is to pull out of their soul and their heart what they really want. Right? And what's just been created, like if I didn't know Gabe very well, if I just met him at a yoga class or however, or went to high school or something together, I now think of Gabe as this amazing person who helped me get clear about what I want. And a couple of months could go by and I could get my car, and I'm probably thinking about that doTERRA business and that animal dream, and I will probably call up Gabe at some point and say, I think I'm a 9 now. And so it's knowing that you have to be patient enough and slowing down enough to ask the questions and make the investment into the relationship to help that person. That's what we mean. What Tiffany says, bring value wherever you go, show up to serve. And it really requires that we get out of our way, that we're not trying to convince people to do what we want to do, but that we're really pulling out of them what they truly want to do. So I think that was great. We're going to have to move on. We could definitely do so much around that.
I'll just say real quick, if Arin was like, if we moved forward, then I would have just set up the appointment.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I wouldn't, I would say, I have, she probably knows I do doTERRA. She already has oils, right? So I'd say, well, the doTERRA business could be an option for you to get blah, 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 blah. Would you be open to looking at it? Then I'd set up the time. I wouldn't go into it then, because we're at the end of our wish list or our membership overview or whatever appointment, your follow-up appointment, and it's just...
And there is something great to say if it's a no, right? So let's try that. So, yeah, no, not right now.
No problem. The door is always open should you change your mind. And the next step would be for you to learn more and set up a plan. So I promise to never be a pushy leader, but we will only focus on you reaching your goals if this is something that you change your mind about. So
Thanks. I'm going to think about it.
And part of that is conveying your staying power. Like, I'm going to be doing doTERRA probably for the rest of my life. So, if you ever come around,
Yeah.
I'm
What
here.
we don't want to say is, you don't want to do the business with me? Me neither. I quit. It's not such a joke sometimes. Can you read this for me?
OMG. They want to build, so what do I do now?
Right? But isn't it kind of scary and exciting and everything when someone does say that? Like, they want to build. What do I do? I had a time in my business where I blocked people from coming to me saying they want to build because I didn't know what to say to them next.
And you guys, I consistently ask people that I coach, I give them scenarios. I'm like, if somebody just walked up to you today and was like, I want to do doTERRA, would you know what to do? Like, raise your hand. Do you know what to do? Everybody's hand should go up. If you're building doTERRA, you should know what to do if a builder comes to you and they're like, I want to do this, what do I do? Right? And it's the same for sometimes for getting a customer. Like if somebody comes up to you like out of the blue and they're just like, I know you have doTERRA oils, can you help me buy some? Be like, oh yeah, you can get them online. Right? Somebody gave that example. No, that's not what you're supposed to say, right? You set up the appointment or you just show them right then and there. You'd be like, yeah, what do you want? Get out your credit card and I'll put it through for you. It comes right to your door. It's great.
That's a good one. We're going to add that to the script file on the website. Get out your credit card. Okay, so we want to go through our steps to committing builders. Now, we will say that there's lots of different ways to commit builders. I have done all of them. And this presentation really comes from me and Gabe getting married and blending our skills together and what we find works. So first, set the appointment. This is the theme. When someone wants oils, set the appointment. When someone wants to build, set the appointment. It's not appropriate to go into it when you are at a party and you're talking to your friend and they say, OMG, I want to build doTERRA with you. Don't download the whole process right then and there because neither of you are in a place and it is not going to be very professional and they may not be able to take it in. We're all professionals in here. I really want you guys to own that. After this weekend, you're salespeople, you sell essential oils, and you are professional network marketers. One of our mentors, yes.
Yeah, we are.
One of our mentors makes the analogy that if you were at a party and you really needed some legal advice and you met a lawyer and you said, OMG, I need a lawyer, what would they say? Yeah, call my secretary, make an appointment, right? Because they're a professional. They're not going to go into it right then and there, first of all, because their time is valuable. And second of all, they're off. It's not time for that. So when someone wants to build, we set the appointment.
And I just want to say about that, I think that what happens most of the time is we come to events like this or we go to convention and we are so juiced up and full of passion. And the moment somebody's like, oh, like, is that an essential oil? Like everything, like, oh my gosh, like there's the CPTG and the LLB and the LRP and then
That sounds like a rap.
right. And then people are just like, what are you talking about? And 'cause I only say this because I've done it tons of times on people and just it's called fire hosing. You just fire hose them and nobody wants that. And it's like Aaron's like, imagine if you met a lawyer and they were just like throwing all they're like, oh yeah, like it would be so cool, like you should come down to my office, like I can tell you all about it right now. I'm like, it's like, no. So we have to hold that space that we're professionals. And on top of it, how could somebody in passing at a party in maybe 2 minutes possibly understand how essential oils are going to help them? Really, I mean, they'll smell good and they might have an immediate experience with something, but they're not going to understand the product line, how this works, what's available to them. You can't get into their health goals, all those things that come out of the appointment. It's so much more valuable for somebody to come to that class, to come to that appointment, and really give it justice, the due diligence.
And we also really believe in when you sit down, when the appointment, you come to the appointment, you sit down, to give them an agenda, and we're going to talk about that more. So we set the appointment, and then we explain the agenda. So what's going to happen in this appointment? And it's very much like what's going to happen in a one-to-one. So we're going to talk about your business goals. We're going to tell you a little bit about how doTERRA works, and then we will show you the training process. Whatever your agenda is, you can switch that up, but that's about what we would say. Anything to add to that? And so this is a similar conversation like we had when we first asked them about the oils, when we first asked them about the business. We want to find out what their goals are. So let's pretend for a minute that you got me to finally be a 10. And we're sitting down at the appointment, you've told me the agenda. How would you then kind of revisit what my goals are?
Which
With the business,
which goals though?
The business goals.
But what are your goals? Did we already talk about it?
Well, we talked about it in the first conversation. I want to work with animals.
The animals
that's how
in
I'm
the
trying
car.
to make money, yeah.
So I would say, the reason we're meeting here today, Arin, is because, from our previous conversation, you had talked about wanting to work with animals, and you're also were running a new car. Is that still accurate?
Yeah, so I thought about it a bit, and I did a little bit of research, and I realized that I could do what you do part-time, and my goal is to make about $1,000 extra a month that I can put towards my dream.
Great. So $1,000 a month extra income from doTERRA, that would be pretty awesome for you.
It's a good place to start. It's where I'm conservative.
how would that make you feel if you had that?
Oh, it would feel great. I'd feel safe and like I could dream and I could start to think about that animal dream. I'm going to make a bank account that's just for it. And that'd be awesome. It's like $12,000 a year.
It's like $12,000 a year, yeah. How cool. And so how serious are you about this?
I'm definitely a 10 now.
You're a 10 now?
Yeah.
Great. Cool. So let me show you how this works.
Okay. So it's the same conversation, but he's just kind of checking in, and it's just the same way when you have your one-to-one appointment with someone where you say, well, tell me about your health goals. You might already know what they're struggling with, but it's always that opportunity to ask them. So another part that we like to ask is how much time they have, and I kind of told him that already, but if he wasn't clear, he might also say, how much time can you put to this? Because as mentors, it gives us a really good idea if it's realistic. Because if I said this,
Arin, how much time can you put into this per week?
well, I have 1 hour a week.
1 hour a week?
And actually, when I change my income goal, I want $100,000 a month.
Okay. So has anybody had that happen? So then I would go ahead and say, all right, so there's a few things I might do. One is I would look at, well, for her to buy a car and start learning more about animals, why does she need $100,000 a month to do that? So that might be one thing I could ask. So like, okay, so let's go back to your goals. You were talking about wanting to buy that car and start learning more about animals, so maybe doing some education there. How much extra income per month would it take for you to be able to start doing those things? Is $100,000 a month?
Oh, no, that's just like ultimately, like.
Oh, so that's your big
years
long
from
term.
now, yeah.
Okay, cool. So how much would it take for you extra income per month to be able to start working on those two things that we talked about?
Well, I can work on it right now. It doesn't take any money.
Okay.
But this is, you
Right.
guys, we're showing you this because this is really how the conversations go. And it's the same thing. You're seeking to understand, and you're also asking them clarifying questions so that they see the truth.
And
they see what's coming out.
And I actually, like, this is actually how I talk. Like, this isn't like, because I'm on stage, I'm repeating stuff a bunch. This is actually how I do it, because I really want to make sure that I'm understanding her correctly, and words are all subjective. When I say a word, it puts an image in my head that could be completely different than the image it puts into your head. So I always mirror everything back. I try to, sometimes I forget, but I always try to mirror everything back. And so if I'm understanding you correctly, blah, 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 is that right? Did I hear you right? Because sometimes they'll say, no, you did not hear me right, right? So you want to make sure you're on the same page. And it makes people feel so heard by you. They feel like, oh, MG, Arin really listens to me. Like, my partner at home never asks me if he understood me correctly, right?
And that's all building trust. Because now Gabe's my mentor, he's becoming my upline. I'm really starting to trust him. I'm appreciating that he's being honest with me. And we're beginning to make my business plan right now. Okay, so yeah, I have an hour a week to put in right now. I don't need to make $100,000 a month now. Like, in the next 20 years, I would like to get there. But I'd like to see increases. I'd at least like to break even my first month.
Yeah, okay. I can help you make that happen. So let's kind of look at this in a little bit more. So for you to put in an hour a week, over 20 years, I'm not sure if at an hour a week I don't know if you'd ever be able to get to $100,000 a month. So my expectation that I want you to have is that as your income grows, you might be putting more hours into this to continue to grow it, because you can get to, at an hour a week, you can eventually get to, maybe $1,000, $2,000 a month, but I think it's going to be hard for you to grow beyond that with only an hour a week. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you guys see how I set that expectation? Because she's probably not going to ever get to $100,000 a month, unless that's a really good hour, right? Like, she's got to be really on it that hour. So then, and I want her to be successful. So an hour a week right now getting started probably is like, I want to see if we can get a little more out of Arin. Because if she can only do an hour, it might not be that easy for her to break even her first month. Like, she might need to do a few classes or a few one-to-ones. Some of them may or may not have a sale, and she's going to want to recoup the cost of her first kit that she just got too and make a profit. Like I want all those things to happen, and I'm not sure if it'll happen with an hour a week in 1 month, right? It's because we need to train her how to do the presentation, blah, 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 right? So I'm going to say, Arin, I really want you, I'm just going to tell her that stuff. I really want you to be able to get what you break even this month, like you said. And so do you think it's possible that you could arrange your schedule to maybe put in like 2 or 3 hours a week? Because I want to make sure that you can, like, is there a time where you can listen to some stuff while you're doing other things in your day? Because I want you to be able to learn how to do the appointment like we did. So could you set aside time to if I gave you like a video that you could watch about how to do the appointment, would that be part of your hour, or could that be while you're doing something else?
Well, I do go for an hour run in the morning, so I could listen to a podcast,
okay,
and then I have a 45-minute drive to work and back, and I could listen to stuff in the car. So that's 2.5 hours.
Perfect.
Plus my 1 hour.
Perfect.
Which I was thinking was actually doing the appointments that you're talking about.
Yeah, you're on it. So what we'll do is we want to get you going. So I want you to get the scripts for how to invite people, just the way that I did to you. Actually, you can just copy it exactly from the Facebook message that I originally sent you when I started. Just copy that script and just put somebody else's name in, right? That's how you invite people. How does that sound? Pretty easy, yeah? You could do that. And then you're going to give them 2 options. If they say yes, you give them 2 times that work for you. And you only have that hour, so it'll be this week or next week, right? So, and that's when your appointment will be with them. So
we're going to get into all that.
Okay, so
right now you're just getting my time commitment.
Okay, yeah, so great. We can get you there. We can break even, and if you and you guys always want to have good expectations with them. So if she's putting in an hour to do appointments each week, and then 2 other hours to learn and grow, then I'm going to tell her that you can expect it's going to take several months before you start making an income with this, and to get to that $1,000 a month like we talked about, that could be maybe 6 months or a year out, depending on how things go, if you stay at 1 to 3 hours a week. How does that sound? Is that still attractive to you?
Yeah, that's okay. And as we move forward, I'll see what I can do in my schedule. But that's conservative. I like that.
It's very conservative. It could be much more successful too, depending on how your appointments go and how things go. And of course, since you're putting in the work, I'm going to do my best to help you be successful at this.
Okay. So this is a really important part there. We're going to hold questions for a moment, but save it. Is that we've gotten really clear. We know what her goal is. We know what her time commitment is. So now we can move on to the next thing. He has discovered a little bit of this, but this is a time where you really want to just ask them straight out. Is there anything that you think would get in the way between you and your success? Can you ask me that?
Arin, is there anything you think that would get in the way between you and your success? And a more appropriate question that I might actually put in my own words would be like, do you foresee any challenges with this? Is there anything coming up for you when you think about doing a business like this?
Well, just the learning curve.
Just learning it, yeah.
And so this is a great time for him to promise me that if I do everything that I promise you, he'll do everything he promises to do to help me get over those obstacles. And if I can find a way to get over those obstacles, we'll do it together. So it's just another time that we're building trust, and he's really showing up for me.
So one of my mentors is Alonto Menagdog, and so he does a great process. You guys might have heard of his. It's like 3 types of people, right? So it's like something like this. Should I do this? Do you think? Okay. Great. So we talked about the putting in 1 to 3 hours a week, and doing an appointment each week. So I'm just curious, Arin. I want to find out how serious you are about this. So usually, when I talk to people about their dreams and goals and what they want, people fall into like 1 of 3 categories, and one is like, well, I'll give it a try, and if it doesn't work out, it's not for me. and that's kind of like a low level of commitment, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then the second level is like, well, I'll do my best to try to make it work. I'll do my best, and I'll put in an effort. I'll do my best, right? And then the third type of person is that they're the type of person that would say, I'll do whatever it takes to make this happen.
And those people you leave on your front line.
So where would you say you are? Are you the first, second, or third type of person?
Can I be like a
Somewhere
2.5?
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best, and I really want this to happen, but it is something new for me, where I feel really confident with your mentorship. So I'd like to be a 3, but I'm in the middle.
Well, I'd like you to be a 3 too, but you are where you are, and you are who you are. And I just want you to know, Arin, that since you're willing to do your best and put in the effort and listen to my coaching and my advice, I'm going to do everything that I can that's in my power to be able to help you be successful with this.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And so that is, we're not there yet, sorry. So now I'm ready, now I'm open, and I really want to hear about it. Is this, okay, I promise we will, after we get through the process, then we'll answer some questions. So now it's just explaining the process and promising support. So it's kind of a recap. And this is where I'm happy to hear what you would say. I'll just tell them what I would say. This is where I would repeat. It's really simple. You go around having appointments just like we did. You'll talk about their health goals, show them the most popular kits, and then show them how to get started. Plus, we have lots of training and support for you, and you can tell them whatever that is. It might be that you're going to get on the phone with them every week. It might be that your upline has a weekly call. It might be that you're sending them to jasmineandjuniper.com with all our training videos. It might be that you use the Share Success system and you're going to plug them into a launch. This is where you get to use your own creativity and decide what your training process is. If you are sitting here right now going, I don't know what my training process is, please go and talk to your upline and have them explain it to you. We have training processes. If you're on Aisha's team, she has a process. If you're on our team, we have a process. Megan's team. And if you're feeling confused, just go and ask them, hey, what's the process? What do we do? In our case, we are going to first ask them if they want any more details, because we want to find out, what type of person is this? There's some people who are just like ready to go. They're like, I saw what you did, I can do what you do, I'm off and running. There's some people who will want to see the comp plan, and they will want to know about co-impact sourcing, and you don't want to give that information to the person that doesn't need it, but if they are that type of person, you give it to them. So this is just where we would ask that. Do you need more details? If not, then you send them on to the next process. So, question? Yeah.
Is there, I've heard a lot of discrepancies around what is a reasonable expectation for people, and I think that I personally am starting to have a better sense of it, but especially for the elites in the room and such. Do we have any kind of
Income expectations
kind of the income
versus time?
The income versus time in particular, because I think the saddest thing is when somebody's mentoring somebody and neither of them have clear understanding of what it actually takes.
It's the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, we use the quick start guide from Edge. You don't have to have them, but you could just reference that. And it really shows them that if they want anything beyond a silver income, they're eventually going to have to put in 15 plus hours a week. And so it's great to have that third party because it's not you. You can just pull it out and say, some very successful builders in doTERRA have looked at what it takes, and this is what it takes.
And I always try to help people easily understand that I want them to be a silver, and most people, because it opens up all your levels, right, of income, and most people in the company are silvers. The majority of doTERRA is silvers, and yes, the average income is about $2,000 a month for silvers, but there's silvers that make like $9,000, right? And there's silvers that make like their oils that are paid for, right? So there's a big discrepancy, and I want them to know that it is all based on their results and how they apply themselves, and the time and income are actually not connected so much, and that's the beauty of this business, right? Because it's residual income, and so you're paid on your results, so we can always get better, we can always learn, we can always add more value to how we show up and present and sell essential oils, right? And so I always want them to know that it's like, yeah, your time is valuable, and your time is what makes this happen, but it doesn't equal your income. Your results equal your income. And so let's figure out how to really, you only have an hour a week, great. You're gonna let every free moment you have outside of that hour, you're gonna be practicing how to talk to people about lavender and melaleuca for their health goals, and right? And so that way you're ready when you have an hour, you're gonna do 2 30-minute one-to-ones back to back. You're gonna have them come to you, or you're gonna do them online. That way you'll get at least 1 kit sold in your first week. Like, let's do it like that, right?
What I'd like to point out here is we actually don't recommend that you go and throw the elites to the wolves. If you are a silver in this room, you should be training your whole team. Or you might be plugging into your upline, but there should be some kind of weekly call that your whole team gets on, a Facebook group, a training system. But for us to expect an elite to go out and commit builders and then train them is just not fair. So as leaders, it's something that we really have to step into. Once I'm a leader, once I'm a silver, I need to take ownership of my whole team, regardless if I enrolled them or not, and figure out how I'm going to get everybody trained and how we're going to all duplicate that. Something that Gabe and I do is we set up little pods. So we have a new builder. His mom's Sandra. Where are you, Sandra?
Where's Sandra? Where's Mom? There she is.
We're going to use you as an example in your family, so you have to be okay with it. So Sandra just went Premier. Yay! If you're on Sandra's team, please stand up. Yay! That's you too. Stay standing. You guys stay standing. So Sandra has 5 builders that are at the Visionary Leaders Summit, right? You guys can sit down. So what we did not do is we did not go to Sandra and say, figure it out, train your team. Good luck, right? What we do is we set up a 6-week training call where either Gabe or I, we're doing the training, and Sandra is shadowing us. So she's learning how to train her team. Her team is getting trained, and then the next program, Sandra will be on her own.
And most of the training, at least my intention is, I talked a little too much on my trainings. Most of it is supposed to be role-playing, the hardest parts for them of the business, so that they have a safe environment to learn how to do this, and if they make a mistake, they're not going to lose a sale or lose a friend. It's all training, yeah.
So you get to do it however you want. We're not saying that our way is the way, but it's this idea that you are the coach of your team. And sure, you want to duplicate yourself. You want to create leaders and create coaches. But just like we wouldn't kick a baby out of the house, we have to wait until they're 18 and they're ready to take care of themselves. We're doing the same thing with our team. So just something to be aware of. And if you're feeling lost, just go to your upline. If your upline doesn't know, keep going up. If you find your way to us, we're totally going to talk to you and help you. You have so much support here.
And that, you guys, that magic C word from Tiffany Peterson's stuff, clarity, right? That's one of the things of a high achiever, one of the attributes. So if you're not clear on your onboarding process for a new person, if you're not clear on your onboarding process for a new customer or new rep or salesperson, whatever you want to call them, a new builder, figure it out, get clear, and make it simple.
Okay, so now we just want to show you what kind of our training looks like. So this is after they've committed, they've said, yes, I want to do this, and maybe we have set up a weekly call, or we've gotten them into a 6-week training with a team. A couple of things we want to do is we want to make sure we let them know if there's anything additional they need to purchase. So if you're doing a system like Share Success or Edge, and they need to get a business in a box, make sure they're prepared for that. if there's oils you think they should have, if there's books you think they should have. We have really, really trimmed this down. And so now all we believe that people need to get started is, of course, an account, a $100 LRP order, and a Family Essentials kit. And so we just prepare people for that. The Family Essentials kit can be their enrollment order. So that means that our builders can get started in this business for less than $150 and get running. And that is a perk, right? So we can sell that to people. Do you have a question? Yes.
So are you saying that the successes is not optional?
Absolutely. It's completely up to who you are, what your team does, what your upline does, and what your person is.
And what works.
And what works. Gabe's famous quote is, "It doesn't matter what you do, what matters is what duplicates." And I would throw, yeah, it is. You say it all the time.
It's from Seth and Rob.
Oh, okay. So it's Gabe quoting Seth and Rob. And sometimes what works for one person doesn't work for another person, depending on the builder that I'm bringing in. So yes, of course there's freedom there. Yes. No, you don't have a hand up? Oh, I'm just blind. I'm sorry. Okay. Harkiana.
Gabe, can you say the three, in the earlier conversation, you had given three clarifying, like, how you kind of interest people committed.
Yeah. So the first level of commitment would be, I'll give it a try, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. The second level of commitment would be, I'll do my best. And then the third level would be, I'll do anything, I'll do whatever it takes to make this happen, something like that. You can quantify it.
I saw one other hand.
Arin, could you repeat once more? You said the three things that we need to start their business: a $100 order, Family Essentials kit. What was the?
That's it. An account, yes. But the Family Essentials kit gives them an account. Yes, right here. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting the clear.
So it's just the top 10 oils, the basic starter kit. Okay, so the next part of their training is, Gabe and I really believe, and this comes a lot from Gabe's past history. He was the top salesperson in a direct selling company. And
For a month.
for the way that they do the training. And you're so humble.
It's true. I was number one in the world in that company in sales.
It's a big deal.
For 1 month.
It's a big deal.
Good month.
So we believe a lot in role playing and practicing. So whether it's the class or the one-to-one appointment, whatever it is that you're teaching people to go and do, if you're Emily, maybe it's social media recruiting, but you're going to practice that main rain-making, money-making activity. And so for us, it's the one-to-one appointment, because we believe that the one-to-one appointment is easy to get started. It's a little bit less challenging than wrangling a whole class. But if classes are the way that you do it, then you're practicing the class. And you can do that through having them host a class, and you can teach it, and you guys practice it together, or you can sit down with them for 2 hours and just totally role play. Or you can do it in a group Zoom and practice it that way. But it's this actually practicing and going through what it's going to look like when you're talking to people and you're sitting down with them.
I just want to say that month that I was number one in the world, I'd been with this company for over a year, and they had 3 morning meetings every week, so 3 times a week we would meet, and it was an hour meeting, and most of it was going over the same presentation that I was already doing throughout the week, and practicing parts of it, and having everybody else that was on the sales team pick you apart and critique you. And I know that most of us in doTERRA don't do that, right? And it's so valuable. Why not get better at the presentation? We can always practice, we can always get it better. So that was part of why that month was so good, is because I did all that practicing. I just, it was not exciting to go to the meeting. It wasn't fun. It was like, okay, we're gonna do the same thing over and over.
So there's practicing the actual sales conversation where you actually are getting somebody to get a kit. And then there's practicing asking for referrals or asking for people to host classes. Because we often talk about, oh, I'm out of people to talk to. There's no one left on my list. I've talked to everyone. And that's usually because we haven't been tapping into the power of referrals. So we really like to practice that with people because it's scary. I hate asking for referrals.
How many of you ask for referrals at every appointment or class?
Almost.
Yeah. We got work to do, guys.
So if you're teaching a class, you always want to book a class off a class. So that is just a habit. Never close a class without asking people to host another class. And it takes practice how to ask for that. And then if you do a one-to-one appointment, we never want to leave that one-to-one appointment without asking for referrals. And I would add this to, don't go networking without asking for referrals. Just make it a habit. But we do recognize that when people are first started in this business, especially if they don't have sales background, they need to practice that because it's uncomfortable.
And I would just argue that in your appointment or your class, your one-to-one, whatever it is, it's actually getting a referral is actually more important than selling a kit for your business. It's the most important thing you can do, actually, because if you don't have anywhere to teach and present, your job is, you're fired. You don't have a job.
You can make a successful class out of a no enrollment class.
So it's great if you get a sale, yay! But it's even better if you get a referral. And if you get both, then you're doing something right. So.
But the lesson here is let's practice it. It's the same thing. Don't throw our kids out into the big wide world and set them up to fail. We have to show them the skills and practice the skills. Yes?
I'm just wondering, I know you guys are so good at recording a lot of Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any recordings of the role play?
Yeah. On JasmineandJuniper.com under Success Webinars, we have how to find people, how to set up an appointment, how to do the appointment, how to ask for referrals, and how to do the second appointment, and pretty soon we'll have the OMG conversation, or how to commit the builder.
I guess I meant for the leaders, how to host a role-playing practice session.
Oh, we don't have that yet, but that can go on our list.
Yeah, I mean, you just do it. Like, there's no, you just like, okay, let's role play. Just pretend I'm the prospect and have your new lead or whatever be the, or your new person be the builder.
We'll add it to there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is my favorite part because I used to struggle so much on how to get people into action. And if you notice a theme over the summit, the high achievers in here are in action. They recognize that if they spend too much time making their spreadsheet pretty, their business is going to fail. So same thing with our new builders. If they spend too much time studying the comp plan, watching webinars, studying the oils, they're not going to get into action. Their business isn't going to go anywhere. So we want people to get into action in their first week. So what we do is we challenge them to set 5 appointments, one-to-ones, with a family member or a friend to practice, right? And this is so awesome because it takes the pressure off of the new builder. So they can totally call up their aunt or their best friend and say, hey, I'm launching an essential oil business. I'm trying to learn how to do these health consultations, and I need 5 people to practice on. They can even say, my mentor is making me do this. And I'm in a contest. I'm going to win $50 if I can do this. Will you help me out? Right? They can use any excuse they want to in the book, and people want to help you. You're going to get this appointment set, and you win either way. There's 3 ways you win. 1, you practice. 2, you get a sale. 3, you get a referral. And all 3 of those will probably happen if you follow the training and you are actually practicing what you're learning. So this is just something we wanted to throw in there, that it's a great way to get started. And what happens is then they come to you next week and they go, I signed somebody up. And guess what? They signed someone up without you there. Committed and capable, right? That's time freedom, that's duplication. So we really wanted to bring this in. Do you want to add anything? Okay. So this is probably my favorite slide of the whole presentation because it's something that I deeply, deeply believe in. We have to stay engaged with our team. These pictures that I put up there show me and Gabe with our favorite people in the world, our team. And we're not necessarily teaching a class, or we're at a business training in a couple of them, but we're hanging out. We're really, really good friends, and we love spending time with them. So these are just a few tips on how you can stay engaged with the people that you bring into your team. And this can include your customers too. Do you want to talk about the first two? And then...
Yeah, so we have a great team Facebook group, which I'm sure all of you are aware of. And so I always make sure people are connected to that.
Or your uplines group. You don't have to put them in ours if you have a great upline doing theirs. It can be too many groups. So put them in your upline group.
And I make sure that they know that that's a great place to get support. You can ask a question on there, and it maximizes our time because a lot of you guys are like better at this than we are, and so you answer before I even see the question. So that's great. and so your people can do that too. And then invite them to events and trainings. Just make sure you guys are in touch and connected. And I just want to say, I have people tell me that they're afraid once their business grows, how are they going to stay connected to everybody, and how are they going to be in their lives. And it's like, all these things help, but it's like one text once a month takes less than a minute, and it makes you in people's lives. That's like, sometimes that's all they need is just like, hey, hoping that kid's great, I've got questions, whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be this 2-hour phone call where you're, going in all this stuff, which sometimes that's appropriate, but.
Yeah, just be in their lives.
Yeah.
Offer accountability. If someone tells you that they have the goal to make $1,000 a month because they want to buy a new car, and you go through all this work to find out why that's important to them, and then they aren't showing up to mentor calls, they're not doing their rainmaking activities, it's our job as a coach and a trainer to say, hey, I'm just curious, is it still important to you to make $1,000 a month so that you can buy a new car or start that business? And it's not with energy of judgment. It's just with energy of accountability. So just don't be afraid to be that person in their life. One of the things I love about Tiffany Peterson, and she's shown this to us, is she's so loving and so kind, and she toes a hard line, right? And she can because she knows that you know that she cares. And I invite all of you to be that kind of coach for your team. Show them how much you care. Find out about their dreams. But when they're not showing up for themselves, call them on it. They'll appreciate it. And we're just reiterating this again. Be in their life. And what I mean by this is, when's their birthday? Send them a birthday card. If a family member dies, be there for them. If a family member graduates, be there for them. Know what's going on in their life. If you treat people like a number, they will never show up for you. But if you treat people like they are your friend and your family, and you love and you care about them, they will go the extra mile for you. Anything you can do. I heard a story at leadership of a woman who, she was on a team. She admitted to the team that she was struggling financially that month and couldn't buy groceries for her family. So her upline, I think like 4 or 5 people, silvers and above, went to the grocery store and bought her hundreds of dollars of groceries. Right? And dropped it off at her house. That's what we do for each other.
And of course, remind them to call you in their struggles, right? In that other company that I was top in the world or whatever, it was very different. It wasn't actually network marketing. It was just sales, direct sales. But every time I did a presentation, we were required to call the office and like, hey, I'm going in. cross your fingers for me. And then when we were finished, we were required, no matter how late at night, to call the office and let them know what happened. And so I'm not saying you all need to do that and like have your downline texting you at, whatever hours of the night, but, make that a priority that like, hey, this is your business, but we're doing this together. And so I want to be there to help you. If you have challenges, if you have struggles, don't hesitate to get me on the phone. If somebody's ready to do this and like do the business and you don't know what to do, call me, like get me on the phone, like 3-way call me in, like, we're together, we're gonna do this. And I'm, that's part of me being there for you. So if you're doing the work, let me know when you're let me know when your appointments are so I can kind of be around the phone in case you need me, right?
One of my favorite ways to mentor is 10-10 mentoring. It's a Lisa DeVee technique. And what you do is you invite your team member to text you at 10 a.m. in the morning and tell you their plan for the day, and then 10 p.m. at night and tell you how it went. And you don't have to read them right at 10 p.m., right? You can look at them the next day. But this is a wonderful way to have your finger on the pulse of what's going on with your new builder, especially a new builder. I use this for brand new builders. I also use it for old stagnant builders that have been telling me for years that they want to do this, and they're having a hard time kind of committing to it. I'll say, let me do 10-10 mentoring with you. Let's get things going. And it can be a great way to just get down in the trenches with them and know what's going on in their life. And we find that it really helps because if you have a whole week go by, or we sit down for our coaching session and we come up with all these great plans and I'm going to go conquer the world, and then you let the whole week go by and you get back on the phone, they could have spiraled out into a million potholes. And if they had just been texting you every day and told you like, okay, today's going to be great, I'm going to enroll 3 people, and then at 10 a.m. they go, this sucks, I'm quitting, nobody likes oils. You know that right then and there, and you can help them right then and there, and you're going to get a lot more momentum in your business. So be in their life, remind them to call you when there are struggles.